Hey, this is Mitch from Castro Valley Fitness. How are you all doing? For this week, we are going to talk about another core training exercise known as a Pallof Press. I know it's kind of a weird name. It's named after a physical therapist, I believe, by the name of John Pallof, who came up with it. So it's one of those core exercises that doesn't look like you're actually doing anything because, again, if you know about the function of your core, it's about stability. So when you're stabilizing, you're not actually moving. So it doesn't look like you're doing much, but you're actually doing a whole lot. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to show you kind of the setup and all the kind of the common mistakes that people make with it. So I'll show you from a couple of different angles. We're going to start right here. So what you want to do is set up a band. I like to do it with a band. You can do it with a cable as well, but you want to have it about waist height, give or take. It doesn't have to be exact. You're going to get yourself here. Now, of course, when we're doing this, we're setting ourselves up right from the start, okay? So I'm keeping my shoulders in a good position. I'm setting my core, and remember, by setting your core, I like to show this cue here. You're gonna push your fingers in here, use your abs to push your fingers out, and you're gonna feel some tension build around there. That will also help line your hips up, okay? So when you're setting your core, you do not wanna suck in. That's the thumbs down. Opposite of what you want to do. So I'm going to come out here, set your core, take a small step out. You do not need a lot of tension on the band on this or the cable machine, whatever you're using. Just a little bit goes a long way. Now, you can't see my feet here, but I'm making sure my feet are pointing straight ahead as well. So I'm setting up from the ground up. Feet straight ahead, hips lined up, so everything's in a nice straight line here. Set that core and make sure my shoulders are in a good spot. And then from here, all I'm doing is bringing the band forward, okay? I'm gonna take nice breaths, again, right through there. Make sure my shoulders are down. And I'm gonna hold this for about a 10 count. Bring it right back in, bring it right back out. Good breathing the whole time, okay? So we usually like to do these for about sets of 3 or 4, something like that. So again, it doesn't look like I'm doing really much, and if you don't really know any better, you think this is an arm exercise because my arms are holding the band out. But the farther out I go, the harder it is for me to hold that position. That band is wanting to pull me over, but I'm not letting it. Don't let the band be the boss. You be the boss of the band, okay? So when I'm holding this position, the common things you're going to see are hips moving forward and shoulders moving up to stabilize. So if that's the case, if you can't hold your shoulders in a good position, then you step in, give yourself a little bit of tension. Because again, we want to make sure those shoulders are staying down so that you're not using your shoulders and your neck to stabilize, you're using your core to stabilize, okay? So again, one more time through, line yourself up, small step out, bring the band out here, count to 10, bring it back in. That's 1 rep. I'm going to show you this from another angle now. Okay, so I'm going to show you this from the side angle so you can kind of see what's going to happen with my hips and with my shoulders. Because when people do this wrong, these are the areas that are going to be in the wrong position. So I'm going to show you how to make sure that doesn't happen. So when you're setting up, and again, line yourself up, small step out. So what I'm going to do now is when I set my core, notice that my hips are locked in place now. Okay, if I'm like this and I go, my hips snap into place. So I'm looking from my ankle, should be a pretty straight line right up through here, through the middle of my shoulder. I don't want to be like this. That's one of the compensations is that you're going to wind up doing that with your hips. The other compensation is you're going to be doing this with your shoulders, okay? So this or this. So when I'm here, set the core, lock that in, pull my shoulders back just a tiny little bit. I'm going to focus my eyes straight ahead on one spot, and I'm just going to keep my eyes right there. And from there, I bring the band out. And I'm not really concentrating on my arms when I bring that band out. I'm concentrating on my hips and my shoulders and make sure they don't move. If they don't move, that means that I'm stabilizing right here, and this is where I should feel it. If you're feeling this in your low back or you're feeling this up in your shoulders, it means you're doing something like this or like this with the shoulders, okay? So again, we like to do these for about a 10-second hold, sets of about 3 or 4, and make sure you do both sides. So you do your set facing that way, and turn around, do your set facing that way. And that is the Pallof Press. Let me know if you have any questions.